Hey everyone, let me give it a second. Welcome to Tune In Tuesday with Unkate Mama and ParentPorch. Super excited to be here with you after the holidays. Took a bit of a break, so hold on, I am trying to get my screens together and they are not working with me. If you've been here with me before, you know that I take notes so that I can stay on task of the topic. And today we're doing part two of healing while parenting. So I want to make sure I've got all my notes. I'm going to give it a minute to make sure we are live on all platforms. I'm actually going to check to make sure. Okay, I know we're on YouTube because I can see us there. The topic and today. Whoops. Let me turn this all the way down. Okay, so I know we're on YouTube. I'm going to double check to make sure we are on Instagram and TikTok. Let's see. Not quite up on Instagram yet, but we should be. I see us live on TikTok, so we should be ready to go to hop in. Yep, I see us live there. I'm going to share so that all of my people are able to see it really quickly. Okay. Sorry, you're going to hear my family in the background because it's real life over here, y'all. But here we go. All right. So let me jump in. First of all, if you have not joined us live before, welcome. If you have been live with us before, welcome back. I am Dom. I am the Uncaped Mama, and I work in partnership with ParentPorch heck of a ton because I love the organization. We are building a community of parents where you can get support just like you'll get today on our live streams, but also we have a community. And so you'll hear me talk about that, but our community is free. You are welcome to join. We have lots of resources. We're available, 24/7. You are able to ask for resources, share updates, your wins, your struggles, everything in between. We already have a ton of resources in there for you to access, and we'll be going live a whole lot more this year. So this is the first of our lives for this year. Happy 2025. Happy New Year. Happy to have you all here. Before the holiday, I did a live stream called Healing While Parenting, and folks loved it. They were, just happy to have that topic and happy to know that someone was talking about it. So I'm going to make sure we get on Instagram really fast because it says we're streaming, but I don't see us. So I'm going to make sure we're there because I know that's where we tend to get a lot of our audience every week. And I don't want them to miss. So give me a moment to hopefully get us there. Okay. It says we are streaming. Thank you for bearing with me because I'm the tech person and the person leading you through this tonight. So, and also got an amazing team behind me supporting. So, I did a Tune In Tuesday about healing while parenting, and it was such a good topic. Folks really enjoyed it. I wanted to keep it going. So, here's part 2 of healing while parenting. Again, welcome back. I want to start off by saying that this live stream is sponsored by Dream Nation. So I love Dream Nation. Before we even jump deep into it, let me tell you about Dream Nation and how Dream Nation has made all this possible. So, Dream Nation is all about turning dreams into action. Whether you're focused on personal growth, launching a business, or chasing creative goals, they're building supportive communities to help you stay inspired and also help you keep moving forward. And Dream Nation is a huge sponsor of us and the whole reason why Parent Porch exists. So, shout out to Dream Nation. Make sure that you tap in with Dream Nation, and also just remember Dream Nation is behind us, and we appreciate Dream Nation supporting this super important conversation, especially around parenting. So, one thing about me is I try to balance my story with like the things I've learned, and then also giving you practical tips. So, that will come here. So, I want to start with practical tips for balancing healing and parenting. So, here's a reality check. First, I'm literally going through this right now. I have something going on with my back. So it's super painful actually right now to sit here, but I did not want to miss this. I'm also dealing with grief. I lost my grandma in October, and dealing with a little bit of burnout, some depression, and a lot of things. Parenting doesn't stop. And so healing and parenting are both full-time jobs. And thinking about that and trying to figure out like, okay, so how do I balance them without burning out? These are some things that I'm learning and have learned, and I think using them might help you. So these are 4. One is creating small intentional healing moments. So what is a small way that you can go outside on a walk for 5 minutes, that you can pray, that you can journal, that you can play, that you can cry if that's what you need to do, going to therapy, talking to your psychiatrist, working out, spending time with friends, cooking a meal. I made my grandma's German chocolate cake around Thanksgiving, and it was healing. It felt really good. There's another one of her recipes that she's made for me a lot in my life, and I have all the ingredients, and I can't bring myself to make it just yet. And so I'm trying to get myself to the place where I can and make it, because it is healing. And so, like, we can't always take a full day for self-care. I definitely cannot. But we can take 5 minutes to breathe deeply, to journal, to check in with your friend, to watch a funny clip, to read a favorite children's book, to play a game with your kids, create music, draw, color. You don't have to finish the whole picture, right? Just like something small that is intentional, and it helps you to heal a little bit. Those add up. I know sometimes people talk about self-care as if it has to be this whole day, full weekend, whatever. Everyone can't do that, but everyone can create some small intentional moments. So that's step 1, or tip 1. Tip 2 is normalize the messiness of progress. I am overcoming perfectionism, and sometimes I like things to look a certain way. Like, I want it to feel like you can see me progress. I want it to feel like, to me, you could see my progress. And I'm starting to remind myself, and even my 2 toddlers, like, mistakes are a part of learning. Things are going to get messy. And when I mess up, I own it. And, I turn it into a teaching moment instead of beating myself up. Like, you do not deserve to be beat up for your mistakes, not even by yourself. Like, your mistakes are not your identity. I don't care what other people try to shame you into believing. Your mistakes are not your identity. And so don't allow them to become your identity. And you don't want your children to think that a true mistake, is going to ruin their life, right? It's teaching them to own up to things, because when you recognize it and you can own up to it, you can start to create more of those intentional healing moments. Like, if I made a mistake, maybe it's just like I didn't know something. So now this leaves time for me. Maybe I take 5 minutes and like make my way through a book that'll teach me how to do something better. Maybe it means I need more practice. Maybe it means I'm not making enough time for myself. And so if I made more time for myself, I wouldn't make this mistake, right? So just normalize that progress is messy. It's not linear, and allow yourself to go through the messiness of it. So that's number 2. Number 3, set emotional boundaries. Protect your energy, or choose your battles, right? I have learned to protect my energy. I have learned to put my foot down, right? I have learned to say no. And sometimes that means stepping away for a quick reset before dealing with big emotions, like in the house. And I do that. Sometimes I'll walk away and I'll breathe and I'll come back to something. Sometimes it's the moment where I need to say something, either to my children or anyone else in the house or at work. And sometimes this is going to require too much of me in the moment, so I'm not going to deal with it today. I will deal with it next time. And that has been huge, huge, right? For my emotional health, especially because I'm dealing with grief and depression and anxiety and now pain in my body, which also comes with a lot of feelings, right? There's only so much that I can do. And so I need to protect the energy that I have. And it's made a world of difference. So set emotional boundaries is 3. And tip number 4, involve your kids in the process. Like, again, my kids are 2 and 3. And so sometimes, like, one, I will go and apologize to them. Or a few weeks ago, I was talking about on my TikTok page how hard it was for me to let my kids see me cry. And now I'm dealing with my back issue. And so I was telling them yesterday, like, mama's back hurts. I can't pick you up. I can't, give you a bath like normal. So Nana's going to help. Or when I'm crying, like, yeah, mom's sad because of Grandma Phyllis passing away. And I may be sad for a while. So I'm just crying, to get it out. Or I need a second. Here, come sit with me. So I can breathe. It'll help me feel better. And they will come and like sit next to me, or sometimes like they'll walk away. Even my son who has autism and he's verbal, like he'll walk away for a second and go do something, and they will come and hug me. So that's 4. So again, the practical tips: create small intentional healing moments, normalize the messy progress, set emotional boundaries, and then involve your kids in the process. All right. Let me check to make sure I'm not missing any comments. I can't really see any at the moment, so we should be good to go. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. I'm sorry, y'all. So now I want to talk about some mindset shifts that have helped me. And there's 2. Growth isn't selfish, it's necessary. And self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary, right? And then celebrate the small wins. So one of the biggest mindset shifts I've made is realizing that focusing on my healing doesn't take away from my kids. It actually gives them a better version of me and ultimately the best version of me. And so me prioritizing my growth, my self-care, my emotional well-being, my physical well-being is better for all of us. Also, celebrating the small wins. I I have had some friends, shout out to my friend Danny, she is amazing, who will call me and say, hey, I know you're not celebrating that. This is big. I got surprise cookies and stuff from like my best friends when I started my podcast last year, because they knew. They're like, you're not celebrating and you got up to 10 episodes. That's major. And to me, I'm like, well, I don't have the followers yet, blah, 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 blah. This is all before I started working with ParentPorch, right? I'm like, nobody's really seeing it, whole time. It opened up new opportunities. And so they've helped me to stop and celebrate the small wins. And I'm doing it now more with my kids. You may not think it's a big deal when my son is learning how to use a communication board, but it is, because he's able to tell us exactly what he needs for the most part. You might not think it's a big deal that my son is going to the potty every time we take him, right? Because potty training him is taking a little bit more time. Or you might not think it's a big deal when he recognizes mom and dad and says mom, dad, right? Not every time, but he does say it. That's a big deal, right? Any new sounds, my daughter learning new songs, my daughter recognizing colors, like huge. And so what it's taught me is me getting out for a walk and being able to get a mile in, if that happens in the next few days, huge. Because right now I can barely walk around the room. Okay. Like, if I am, able to go back to work and, emotionally get through those days, that's huge. And so progress doesn't mean perfect. It's just showing up and giving yourself grace, especially on the hard days. Like sometimes you just getting out of bed and eating is a win. Count that. And sometimes you completing the birthday party planning and the birthday party goes well and your kids had fun, even if it wasn't perfect, huge win, right? And so celebrate those things. Celebrate them. Mark them down. Put them in a little jar. Where's my little jar? I have a little jar where I keep track of the good things that have happened throughout the year, and I call it my memories jar. And so it's just like little colored pieces of paper. It doesn't have to be colored pieces of paper, but it's little colored pieces of paper. And you mark down things that went well. You can do it. I do it once a week. You can do it once a day, um, as often as you want, just to make sure that you are celebrating the small things. They add up and they matter. Just like those small 5 minute intentional moments matter, those small wins, relatively, right? Those small wins matter as well. So here is how you can continue to keep this conversation going. As I said, this was part 2 of a conversation, so it was a little bit different than what I shared a few weeks ago, but I obviously want to keep this conversation going with you. So, share what's been the hardest part of balancing your own healing while parenting. In our community, we have a parent talking about how her and her partner are on 2 different continents right now. And so she's trying to parent and work, but also like continue to maintain a good relationship. And it's hard. They're not anywhere near each other, and it's tough. And so how do you do that kind of healing without your partner, right? Your companion right there next to you, like they always used to be. And especially if they've got to take care of some things at home and you can't be there, you've got to stay where you are, right? Um, that's hard. And so the biggest thing I think is those small intentional moments, those moments of connection with your partner. Um, maybe taking notes, like writing down notes of things that are happening every day so that when you chat, you can share the updates, but then making space for what they need and asking them to make space for what you need when you're able to talk. Send emails, right? Send voice notes of your love and what you're thinking about and things that are going on. Um, you know, if you're a parent, like what's something that's helped you stay grounded when things are difficult? What are your small 5 minute things that you've done to be able to stay in the moment, continue to heal, and also just move forward? You can drop those in the comments, whether you're watching live or whether you're in the replay. We can't wait to hear from you, and also would love to have you in the Parent Porch community. So check our links in our bio so that you can join. Again, it is free, and we would love to continue this conversation there. So if this conversation spoke to you, make sure you follow me. I am at Uncaped Mama, UNCAPED MAMA on all platforms. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Threads. And then obviously you found us. So make sure you follow Parent Porch because I'll be here every Tuesday. We've also got Wellness Wednesday and we'll be going live a whole lot more. So that's Parent Porch on all platforms as well. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, wherever we're, YouTube. Keep building community with us. We want to continue to build a supportive parenting community together, and we can't do that without you. So join us there. I once again want to thank Dream Nation for sponsoring. I also want to offer you our parenting bundle. So outside of just these tips, there are other things, right? Single parenting, fatherhood, the beginning of your pregnancy journey, getting pregnant, milestones for toddlers. We have a full parenting bundle with over 50 tips for all things parenting. And so, if you're looking for those practical tools to help you stay grounded while parenting, then definitely check out this parenting bundle. I will make sure that you get the link. It's also in our stories on Instagram, so definitely check that out. It is literally full of resources that make this journey just a little bit easier. And it's like full of practical tips that you can start to implement immediately. And this is for all types of parents. No matter the structure of your family or what you have going on. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this brought a little insight, that you feel like, okay, in this healing journey, I'm not alone, and that you got some really practical insights. Again, I'll be back in a few weeks, or actually probably a few days, to be honest. We'll be going live again. We will have Lashana West coming soon with Wellness Wednesday and also some other lives. So stay tuned. And then again, make sure you're following Uncaped Mama and Parent Porch. Thank you for joining me tonight. I will be back next Tuesday. So stay tuned to our stories. That way you can see what the topic will be. And again, I'll always keep it practical. I will always keep it real. And I will always try to help you and support you and let you know you're not alone. Also stay tuned because I am planning a video that is coming really soon on a hot topic, child support. So if you are interested in that at all, stay tuned. That is coming soon as well. It'll probably come once my back is better, and once I'm kind of healed up from that, because I'll be sitting for much longer, I think, for that one. It'll be a little bit longer. It'll be engaging, of course, so definitely want to hear from all of you. I'm going to double check and make sure I'm not missing any comments. Okay. All right. I don't see any comments or any private chats. Thank you for joining me. Really enjoyed being here with you tonight, and I will be back soon. Have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you